It's a Dota Weekly Show!
Yay!
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Dota Weekly Show, your source of news, and more news. I am Luminous, your host for the DWS. Without further ado, let's get on with the news. Dreamhack was last weekend, and after the group stage, 6 out of 8 teams were the international invites. CLG, MTW, Na'Vi, Dare, EG, Absolute Legends. Two important things to point out here. Valve, first of all, did a very good job inviting the correct teams, because guess what? Again, 6 out of 8 teams are in the finals of a LAN tournament. And of course, secondly, valuable LAN experience for some of these teams. Of course, Absolute Legend, that was the first time they ever played on LAN. Even though they didn't go too far in the tournament, it was some valuable LAN experience for them. So kudos for all the teams that made it to the top 8. Of course, going into the tourney, Na'Vi, as always, was the favorite team, and of course, the team to beat. They 3-0 in their group stage, they 2-0 Dare, they 2-0 EG, and I'm pretty sure every one of those matches were very much snobby games. So, of course, they awaited in the grand final, like the final boss. MTW, on the other side of the bracket, arguably had easier group, and they beat out Quantic in 2 games. They edged out in Mouse in 3 games. Of course, when the 2 teams meet in the final, Na'Vi going up against MTW, everybody kind of expected that Na'Vi will coast out with the first prize, winning of $14,000. Game 1 was a rather close win for Na'Vi. Game 2 and 3, though, took it by MTW. Well fought for MTW. Now, of course, one victory away from the Na'Vi doesn't mean too much, but it definitely showed to the rest of the world that Na'Vi is definitely quite mortal, and also showed to a lot of haters out there how strong MTW is. They beat Na'Vi in a best of 3. Come on, this is pretty epic stuff. So going into the national, is Na'Vi going to take this? Well, we'll have to see. More tournament news coming your way. The Defense, sponsored by Razer and BenQ, brought to you guys by Join Dota, just kicked off this week. The cool thing about this tourney is that it's going to be used as the testing ground for Valve's Tournament View feature. For you guys don't know, the Tournament Views feature is something they recently added. For a measly $5, you get to watch the entire tournament, either live or in replay format, in your own version of the Dota 2. What this means is that the people that want to control their own camera while listening to Toby, or just want to control their own camera in general, or for the people that are up-and-coming casters that didn't have pro content to cast before, this is a huge bargain. Like $5, you get the entire tournament, you can cast, you can watch whatever you need to do. The best part about this is that Valve is giving part of that $5 back to the tournament organizers for other future tournament that Join Dota might be hosting. This is the best thing that I've seen for the tournament scene in a long while. Of course, this weekend was also the grand final of the Gigabyte Dota 2 Master. Now, of course, it wasn't a LAN event like Dreamhack was, but it also gave everybody a good glimpse who the top dogs were from the East. LGD took out a whole bunch of good Chinese teams to get their WE and eHome specifically on one side of the tournament bracket. Zenith on the other side took out a couple of Chinese teams as well, Tongfu and IG, to get there. Now, LGD dropped their first game, and then their PC apparently caught on fire. So it took them about 2 hours to find a proper LAN center that had Dota 2 computers installed, and then they kind of won Game 2 and Game 3. So it was rather anticlimactic, but hey. Now this is one of the first few times that Zenith ever lost a best of 3 against a Chinese teams. So Na'Vi dethroned, Zenith dethroned. Man, a couple of months before the international, but it's a pretty big toss-up in the scene right now. Kind of quasi-related international news, I'm super excited to announce that I'll be casting at the international this summer. Man, I haven't been this excited since that one DW episode I talked about Legion Commander and how he's sending people in the Shadow Realm, and but that's disrespect, son. Whew! It's such a great honor to cast for the international, to be one of the casters. And it's not just me. Nebula and LD also going to be flown out to Seattle. Really, at this point of the show, I have to sincerely thank Valve for giving me this opportunity to cast in my first ever LAN event, to be at the international. And of course, I have to thank you guys for all the constant support I've been getting. I'll definitely give it my best to put on a great show for you guys at the international too. And with that, that's going to do it for this week's DWS. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time, Luminous, signing out to you guys.